what truly was the worst thing that ever happened to you that contributed to the success of your business more than anything else could have?
Without question, it was losing everything up until the point, and we went down in the crash. That's a long story I won't get into, but let me put it this way. Up until that moment, we had amassed, we had over 200 individual doors, managed another 400 doors for other people. We were the biggest single-family resident landlord in Wilmington at the time. We had more money in the bank that I honestly thought we could, realistically spend in a lifetime. We could have done it frivolously, but we had everything we wanted. $2 million beach homes, the whole bit, and right in the middle of kind of everything shifting, we bought an 80-unit apartment complex and condoed it off. The intent was make condos out of them, and we did that. We went through the condo process and went to sell them off. Well, the market crashed, condo financing went away, people couldn't get financing for the project. Long story short, that project took everything that we had spent all of that time since 1999 building and wiped us out. And I mean wiped us out. Business bankruptcy, personal bankruptcy, the whole bit. I was 40 years old, and my parents were buying groceries so I could feed my kids. Make sure I had food on the table for my kids. You want to talk about struggle busing. I had a marriage that fell apart during that time. So you want to talk about some low moments. And it's the best thing, honestly, for me that ever happened. It ended up, the lessons that I had to learn through that process are painful. It's why I don't mind telling my story, because if it can save someone else from making those mistakes. But, there's a lot of people out here right now that have the same thought process that I did at the time, which was, man, everything we touch turns to gold. Yeah. So why wouldn't this work? The project that took us down, we didn't need to do it. If we had a vision for our lives mapped out, which is what I think the underlying thing is here, you have to know where you're going, because otherwise you're never going to get there. Had we mapped out the vision for our lives, we would have seen that we had absolutely everything that we needed or wanted already. We would never have done that deal, and we didn't even do the deal out of greed. We did it out of opportunity, because we didn't need more. We did it out of opportunity, but we wouldn't have chosen that had we created the vision for our lives. We would have never chosen to do that, more because it would have been an indicator hey, why would I take more time away from my kids? Yeah. Our kids were younger at the time. Why would I take this on? We don't need any more money. This doesn't really fit our long-term plan. This is an opportunity that got presented. That opportunity is what ended up wiping everything that we had worked for out. And the biggest lesson that came from that, and what is my guiding light now for my entire life, is no, let me create the vision of what I want my life to look like. Let me build a business around that supports that. And that's what tells me, do I want to grow? I don't know. Okay, maybe. Yes, I need to grow a little bit in order to reach this goal or this vision for my life. Or no, does this take me further towards my vision, or does it take me away from my vision? And not just the vision for my business, but the vision for my personal life. I wouldn't trade that for all the money in the world, because it would have happened at some point. Without the vision, well, what does the Bible say? Without a vision, the people perish. And I actually really do believe that. So I think had that not happened when it did, there would have been some moment in my future that it would have happened again. And so, going from, we were talking about this at lunch, going from having, when you have nothing, what's the Fight Club quote that you said?
Only when you've lost everything are you free to do anything.
When you've lost everything, you're free to do anything. And that is exactly what happened, and I was able to go, do I really want to be a real estate investor? Is this really what I want to do? Yeah, because you can go anywhere from there, right? And it's beautiful, as long as you have the vision that it kind of guides your actions moving forward. And without that happening, I would have just continued in that grind that I think so many of us are in, that I didn't realize was a hamster wheel at the time, because it was such a nice hamster wheel. It's a beautiful hamster wheel.
That's the other part. It's like you got this golden hamster wheel, man, and it feels awesome.
But you have to ask yourself, if I stop doing what I'm doing today and it goes away, then it is, by definition, a hamster wheel. It might be a really nice hamster wheel, but it's still a hamster wheel. Yeah. I always try to encourage people when I'm talking to them, because the story that people tell themselves in their head is, well, that's easy for you to say because you had this advantage or that advantage, or this comes easy to you, or man, look at us. Both of us had negative net worth in 2015, and within 6 to 7 months of that, and it's not that we didn't have the moments of, and we didn't have, I'm telling you, I grew up without the legs up, you know, aside from the relationships that I had built, which again, it all goes back to relationships, because that's all I had to rely on. But at the end of the day, legit, it was me telling myself every day when I was negative nothing, could barely feed my kids, get up, keep going, get up. And you do it, you get a game plan down, and within a very short period of time, you have the ability to change your life. My kids say all the time, like, well, Mom, it's easy for you to say because you like getting out into the room and everybody wants to talk to you and all that stuff. I tell my kids all the time, I said, are you freaking kidding me? I'm scared to death half the time, especially if I'm walking into a room with a bunch of people I don't know, and I take a deep breath and I go, get in there and show up. And that is how you make it. You get up and you show up every single day, and it can happen, like, it might have been a journey to get you to the point where you decide to do that. But once you do it, your life can change pretty quick, man.